There's a glitch in the Matrix, people. Recent rumors suggest the industry giants tried to push Keanu Reeves out of the spotlight.
Hit that Johnny Depp, Tom Cruise level of fame, and then just became this super chill, mellow guy that can just like go through crowds. That guy sits on the subway by himself.
That's freaking awesome.
Yeah, but there's no obvious outward displays of wealth from him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's insanely wealthy.
Yeah,
but when you see him, he's dressed like me.
Yeah.
He's got like a regular watch on and sneakers. He's normal as fuck, man.
Yeah.
It's real weird. Like he's figured out a way to.
But Keanu's one to defy expectations. He's finally speaking his truth. Hollywood thrives on a carefully crafted image, a world of glamour, success, and happy endings. Keanu's accusations paint a very different picture, one that's messy, exploitative, and potentially damaging to the industry's brand. Were there jealous whispers behind the scenes or calculated attempts to dim Keanu's shine? What dirt will Keanu unleash? Get ready to dive into the untold story. The Hollywood elite versus Keanu Reeves. Let's dive into the glitzy world of Hollywood, where humility sometimes feels like a rare gem buried beneath layers of flashy outfits and high-profile parties. You see, in Tinseltown, it's often the loudest voices that get the most attention. But amidst all the noise, Keanu Reeves stands out like a beacon of authenticity.
He's just got a genuine curiosity and love for things.
He's a very unique guy. And
I think so.
I've never met him, but every interview you see with him, every movie, he's a very unusual person.
Yeah, and he's got, you know what, I think anybody really artistic, or at least the really, I think, artistic people that I've met, they maintain that little bit of, and I mean this in the best of ways, a little bit of childness wonder. They're still kids a little bit. Like, I could talk to you all day about, like, archery. I could talk to you all day about martial arts. I could talk to you all...
Think about it. When was the last time you heard about a celebrity who didn't let fame go to their head? Yeah, not too often, right? That's because Hollywood has this knack for celebrating extravagance over humility. It's like they've got this invisible checklist. Fancy cars, check. Designer clothes, check. Paparazzi following you everywhere, double check. But for Keanu, that checklist doesn't quite fit. Now let's talk about Keanu's journey in the entertainment industry. You'd think with his talent and charm, he'd have it made, right? Well, not exactly. Turns out even someone as talented as Keanu can face some pretty hefty challenges in Hollywood. See, it's not just about landing roles and collecting paychecks. Behind the scenes, there's a whole other world of politics and power plays, and Keanu hasn't been immune to it. From being pressured to conform to industry norms to facing off against powerful figures trying to dictate his career path, he's had his fair share of battles. But here's where things get really interesting. Recently, Keanu dropped some truth bombs about the darker side of Hollywood. You know, the stuff they don't show you in those glossy magazines. He opened up about the pressures he's faced and the attempts by those in power to pull the strings behind the scenes. Imagine being in his shoes, trying to navigate a world where your every move is scrutinized and manipulated. It's enough to make anyone want to throw in the towel. But not Keanu. He's not one to back down from a fight, especially when it comes to standing up for what he believes in. So while Hollywood may try to bring him down, Keanu Reeves isn't going anywhere. And maybe, just maybe, his willingness to speak out will inspire others to do the same. After all, in a town where ego reigns supreme, a little humility can go a long way. Incidents highlighting industry tensions. Picture this. It's 2011, and Keanu Reeves is minding his own business, probably looking cool as ever, when BAM! A woman accidentally backs her Mercedes SUV into Keanu's beloved motorcycle. Talk about a bad day, right? Now, here's where things get interesting. Instead of throwing a tantrum or calling in his army of lawyers, Keanu handles the situation like a true champ. He stays calm, chats it out with the woman and the cops, and even manages to keep a smile on his face. But some folks out there couldn't help but wonder if there was more to the story. See, in Hollywood, nothing is ever just a simple accident. Some people speculated that there might have been some shady stuff going on behind the scenes. Was it just an innocent mistake? Or was there something more sinister at play? We may never know for sure, but one thing's for certain. Keanu handled it like a pro. Fast forward to 2021, and Keanu is still out there being the coolest guy in Hollywood. Seriously, the man doesn't age. But what's even more impressive is how he interacts with his fans. You'd think someone as famous as him would be all about that VIP treatment, right? Not Keanu. Instead of hiding behind a wall of bodyguards or avoiding eye contact with fans, Keanu is out there mingling with the crowd like he's just another guy. And you know what? People love him for it. They respect his space, give him room to breathe, and in return, Keanu treats them like old friends. It's a beautiful thing to see, really. Now, let's talk about how the public reacts to Keanu's down-to-earth attitude. Spoiler alert. They eat it up like a slice of cake at a birthday party. You see, in a town where egos are bigger than the Hollywood sign, Keanu stands out for all the right reasons. People love that he's not afraid to be himself, even if it means going against the grain. From walking through airports without a single bodyguard to dressing like your average Joe, Keanu is proof that you don't need all the glitz and glam to make an impression. And you know what? That's refreshing. So while Hollywood may be full of drama and tension, Keanu Reeves is out there reminding us that sometimes it's the simple things that matter most. And for that, we'll always be grateful. Keanu's disdain for Hollywood superficiality. All right, let's peel back the curtain on Keanu's feelings about the glitz and glamour of Hollywood. You see, while most people dream of walking down the red carpet and rubbing elbows with the rich and famous, Keanu isn't your typical Hollywood star. He's not interested in flashy parties or designer clothes. Nope, for Keanu, it's all about the work. He'd rather spend his time on set, bringing characters to life and telling meaningful stories than schmoozing at fancy events. And you know what? That's what makes him so darn relatable. Now let's talk about Keanu's take on Hollywood's culture. Spoiler alert, he's not a fan. You see, in a town where egos run wild and power plays are the norm, Keanu stands out like a sore thumb. He's not afraid to call out the industry for its superficiality and manipulative tendencies. Instead of playing by the rules and chasing fame and fortune, Keanu marches to the beat of his own drum. He's not interested in being a puppet for the powers that be. Nope, he's more concerned with staying true to himself and his values, even if it means ruffling a few feathers along the way. But here's where things get really interesting. Keanu isn't content to just sit back and complain about Hollywood's flaws. Oh no. He's on a mission to change things for the better. He's shining a light on the darker facets of the industry, from exploitation to manipulation, and he's not afraid to speak out against them. Whether he's calling out the exploitation of young, aspiring actors or exposing the shady practices of Hollywood elites, Keanu is leading the charge for a more ethical and transparent entertainment industry. And you know what? That's pretty darn admirable. So while Hollywood may be full of superficiality and darkness, Keanu Reeves is out there fighting the good fight. And for that, we salute him. Keanu. A rebellious soul. Hollywood. It's a place where image is everything, right? You gotta look good, act a certain way, and always be on for the cameras. But then there's Keanu Reeves. Now Keanu's a whole different breed. This guy marches to the beat of his own drum. And let me tell you, his drum has a very different rhythm than the Hollywood norm. Here's the thing. Keanu just doesn't seem to care about all that glitzy, superficial stuff. He doesn't play the celebrity couple game on red carpets, you know, the fake hand-holding and forced smiles. Nope, not Keanu. He's more about genuine connection than staged photo ops. And speaking of genuine, have you heard about his charity work? This guy donates millions to causes he cares about, but you never see him bragging about it or holding a big press conference. He does it quietly, without all the fanfare. It's like he gets that true generosity isn't about getting a pat on the back, it's about actually helping people. But Keanu's rebellion goes beyond avoiding red carpet PDA. Remember how he shared his profits from The Matrix with the crew? That wasn't exactly standard practice in Hollywood. He saw the people who worked hard behind the scenes and made sure they got a bigger slice of the pie. Same thing when it came to negotiating contracts for the sequels. He fought to keep younger actors on board, even if it meant taking a smaller paycheck himself. See, Keanu seems to value human connection and fairness more than money and fame. He treats everyone with respect, from fellow actors to the folks on set. It's like he gets that Hollywood is a machine, but at the end of the day, it's about people working together to create something special. And that, my friends, is a pretty rebellious idea in a town obsessed with money and appearances. Fabricated allegations and real industry issues. Hey, let's talk about some of the crazy stuff that goes down in Hollywood, shall we? First up, we've got the fabricated blood drinking narrative. Yeah, you heard that right. There are folks out there spreading wild rumors about Hollywood elites drinking blood to get high. I mean, come on, does that even sound remotely believable? But here's the thing. People eat it up like it's the latest gossip on a reality TV show. It's insane, really. But amidst all the fake news and conspiracy theories, there are some real issues at play here. Take Keanu's experiences with industry manipulation, for example. The man has been through some stuff, let me tell you. From having his performances altered without his consent to being pressured into roles he wasn't comfortable with, Keanu has seen it all. And then there's the Harvey Weinstein scandal. Now that's a whole other can of worms. The guy was accused of some pretty heinous stuff, and it sent shockwaves throughout the industry. Suddenly, people were waking up to the dark underbelly of Hollywood, where power and influence could be used to exploit and manipulate others. But here's the thing. Amidst all the chaos and scandal, there's hope for change. People are speaking out, demanding accountability, and pushing for a more ethical and transparent entertainment industry. And you know what? That's something worth fighting for. So yeah, while Hollywood may have its fair share of problems, there are people like Keanu Reeves shining a light on the darkness and fighting for a better tomorrow. And for that, we can all be grateful. The price of saying no. All right, so we talked about Keanu being a Hollywood rebel, right? Well, here's where things get interesting. Remember that movie Speed? You know, the one with the bus rigged to explode if it dropped below 50 miles per hour? Classic action flick. Anyway, the studio wanted Keanu to come back for a sequel, Speed 2. Big budget, big action, all that. But Keanu, well, he had other plans. He wanted to do something different, a play in Canada, actually. Sounds kind of crazy, right? Hollywood's all about chasing the next big blockbuster, not some small-town theater gig. So, Keanu passed on Speed 2. And guess what happened? Well, let's just say the studio wasn't exactly thrilled. Here's the deal. Studios in Hollywood hold a lot of power. They can basically make or break your career. And in Keanu's case, they weren't too happy with his decision. They basically froze him out for like 14 years. No more starring roles, no big budgets. It was like he was in Hollywood jail. This whole thing shows the pressure actors face. Speak your mind, make your own choices, and you might get punished for it. It's a scary reminder of how much control studios have in this town. But Keanu, ever the rebel, didn't let it break him. He kept on acting, taking on smaller roles that interested him. And guess what? He eventually bounced back, bigger than ever. John Wick, anyone? Now there's another fight Keanu's picked recently, and this one's about technology. You heard of deep fakes, right? Where they can make it look like someone's saying or doing things they never did? Crazy stuff. Well, Keanu's not a fan. He worries that this technology could be used to manipulate actors' performances, basically taking away their control over their own work. He believes it goes against the whole idea of acting, of putting your heart and soul into a character, kind of like a robot stealing your job, but way creepier. So, Keanu's speaking out against deepfakes, fighting to protect the artistic integrity of acting. It's another example of him standing up for what he believes in, even if it means going against the grain. That's Keanu in a nutshell. A Hollywood rebel who uses his voice even when it's not always the easiest thing to do. Keanu's sacrifices and triumphs. All right, let's take a closer look at the roller coaster ride that is Keanu Reeves' career. First up, we've got his choices during film productions. Now, Keanu's not your average actor. He's not in it just for fame and fortune. Nope, he's all about the art. So when it comes to picking roles, he's not afraid to make some tough decisions. Like that time, he took a pay cut to work with Al Pacino in The Devil's Advocate. Yeah, you heard me right. He willingly sacrificed a big, fat paycheck for the chance to collaborate with one of the greats. And you know what? It paid off big time. The movie was a hit, and Keanu's performance earned him some serious praise. But Keanu's not just a talented actor, he's also got a heart of gold. Seriously, the guy's philanthropic efforts are off the charts. He's been quietly supporting children's hospitals and cancer research for years without seeking any recognition for it. That's pretty darn admirable. Instead of flaunting his generosity for the world to see, he's content to let his actions speak for themselves. Now, that's humility. And let's not forget about Keanu's resilience in the face of industry challenges. Despite facing pressure and manipulation from powerful figures in Hollywood, he's never wavered in his commitment to staying true to himself. He's weathered the storm with grace and dignity, emerging stronger and more determined than ever. So yeah, while Keanu may have sacrificed a lot along the way, he's also achieved some pretty incredible triumphs. And for that, he deserves all the praise in the world. What did Keanu spill? Here's where things get more dark. We mentioned Keanu opened up about some seriously messed up stuff in Hollywood, right? Well, let's just say it paints a pretty disturbing picture. Apparently, Keanu witnessed some powerful people in Hollywood engaging in some seriously creepy behavior. We're talking stuff way worse than the whole casting couch thing. It's the kind of stuff that makes you want to take a long shower and forget you ever heard it. Now, Keanu being Keanu, he didn't name names or go into too much detail. He's not one for public mudslinging, but his revelations were enough to send shockwaves through Hollywood. It's like he ripped the curtain back and exposed the ugliness that's been festering for way too long.
Out and those flames are rising behind you there. Can you feel the heat?
No, isn't that weird?
That's very strange.
And guess what? Keanu's not the only one speaking out. Other big names like Mel Gibson and even Elon Musk have chimed in with their own concerns about the dark side of Hollywood. It's like a wave of truth-telling is starting to roll, and it could be a turning point for the industry. Maybe, just maybe, Hollywood will finally be forced to confront its demons. Maybe the days of powerful people getting away with bad behavior are numbered. It's a long shot, sure, but hey, seeing Keanu take a stand gives you a little hope, doesn't it? From his breakout role in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure to his iconic performances in The Matrix and the John Wick series, Keanu's career has been a roller coaster of epic proportions. He's tackled diverse roles, from action hero to romantic lead, and even delved into directing. Through it all, he's maintained a cool, enigmatic aura that keeps fans coming back for more. Now, what's the secret sauce behind Keanu's enduring appeal? Well, besides his undeniable talent and good looks, it's his resilience. Despite facing personal tragedies and career setbacks, he's bounced back stronger each time. Plus, his down-to-earth demeanor and genuine kindness have won over the hearts of fans worldwide. It's like he's the ultimate underdog who always comes out on top, and we just can't get enough of it. So what does Keanu's journey mean for the future of Hollywood? It's a wake-up call for the industry to prioritize authenticity and diversity. Keanu's openness about his struggles with fame and his willingness to take on unconventional roles have challenged the status quo. As audiences crave more genuine storytelling and representation, Hollywood would do well to follow in Keanu's footsteps. After all, in a world full of reboots and sequels, Keanu Reeves is a breath of fresh air, reminding us all to stay true to ourselves.